5 minutes left, so I'm going to flick through this really, really quickly. All right? It's my 5 rules, Paul's rules for buying houses on off the open market with agents, right? Never assume anything. That house there, I bought that house, but I didn't actually go and see that one. The agent phoned me up and said, got this house, it's got 3 acres at the back, it's got, I reckon you'll get planning for it. So I said to him, well, okay, where is it? He's told me where it was, round the corner from me. I'm thinking, that's greenbelt land. So I go and see it anyway. Now, most people I know would turn around and say, what a waste of time that'll be, I won't bother going. Waste of time. I'm assuming it's a waste of time then, aren't I? If I say I'm not going, I'm assuming it's a waste of time. I went along there to see that house. I went to her and said, I really do apologise. I don't want to mess you about. I'm a trader, I'm a property dealer. I'm looking to make money out of this transaction, but I don't think I can because the agent thinks we can get development potential. I think it's greenbelt. She went, it is. My neighbour just got turned down for the planning. So I said, right, I don't want to mess you about. So she said, well, do you want a cup of tea? I said, yeah. Have a cup of tea while I'm there. I had a chat with her. She said, did you buy anywhere? I said, yeah. She went, oh, my father died last year, left me a house in Catford. It's a right mess. Would you want to buy it? I said, yeah. And then she tells me that she had National Home Buyers Man phone up. You know, she phoned the National Home Buyers Man, the green man on advertised on the telly. Now, I know he's already insulted her. He would have insulted, really insulted. They wouldn't have even bothered going round. They just said, yeah, 50% lower than whatever she wanted. So all I had to do was come in with a reasonable bid. And I could probably buy it. And we ended up buying that for 131 and selling it for 175. All because I never assumed anything. This house here, look, no roof. Agent told me she needs 85 grand. She will not sell it for a penny less than 85 because her mortgage is X and the time they've paid our costs, there's no way. So rule number 2 is never rely on what you're told. Never, ever rely on what you're told. Because I said, okay, I'll go and have a look at it. I said, I'd like the vendor to be there to show me over. He said, well, it's a bit difficult because obviously it's all been burnt out. He said, but I'll try and get her down there to meet you. Why did I want to meet her? Why did I want to meet the vendor there? Because I needed more information. The most valuable commodity, write this down, the most valuable commodity I know is information. That's what enables me to buy the deals I do. So I said to her, do you know, I'd love to buy your house. But just so you're aware, this is what I did. When I got there, I am going to run over Andy, just for these rules. Is that right?
That's fine.
You sure? I don't want to overstep the mark. Okay. So I said to the woman, I had a chat with her, and I didn't speak about her house. She had a broken leg trying to get her kids out. She broke her leg trying to save her bloody kids. I mean, it's a tragic story. She had no insurance. She had 4 kids. Her husband left her 6 months beforehand. I mean, she's still a good friend of mine today. But I wouldn't rely on what I was told by the agent. So I turned around and said to her, so what's the score? So she said, I owe 80,000 pounds on it. I said, what happened? She said, well, my husband left me, he didn't pay the mortgage, and then I found out. So I said to him, look, reinstate the mortgage, because he used to do all the direct debits. He weren't paying it anymore. So I reinstated it, but there was insurance attached to the mortgage. So the insurance was cancelled. So I said, well, ring them up and tell them they're responsible. She said, well, I've had that conversation. I said, do you mind if I ring them? So she said, go on. Okay. So she passed the phone over for Abby National at the time, Santander. And I said, look, this woman's got 4 kids. She broke her leg trying to save her kids. They've gone, yeah, we understand all that. I said, how do you think the papers are going to think about that scenario? So how are they going to find out? I said, because I've got the son waiting on the other end of the line. And she went, okay, I will sort something out. And they dropped her debt. They dropped her debt. We bought that for 75 grand and 70 grand, and we sold it for 85. All because I wouldn't rely on what I was told by the agent. This one here, always ignore the price. You saw them houses that were on the market earlier, 50% below their market values. As I said to you earlier, the most important thing is the asking price is not necessarily the value. If I looked at the asking price first, I'd never buy anything. I ignore it. I don't even look at it. I don't even ask the agent what's the price, because it's the point at what I want to pay is the price that I'm interested in, not what the asking price is. And before you offer on anything, wherever you're going to offer, just before you're about to give the bid you want to make, just take 10% off. And if I hadn't done that on that particular house, we was expecting that to sell for 175 in the auction. We were trying to tie, I was going to pay about 154, 155. Just as I said no, 140. The guy said yes, but we only sold that for 160. Now if I hadn't have done that, that could have been a loss. I just built that extra 10% in just in case. But you never know if someone's going to say yes or no, do you? If you say, I'll give you 155, and say, yeah, straight away, you think, could have got it for cheaper, couldn't I? And the last one, and I'm going to leave you this one, never, ever, ever, ever get emotional about stock. 2006, I was Charlie Big Bananas driving around in the Bentley Continental, right? Thought I was really, I was top of the world, right? Personalised plate, thought I was Billy Big Nuts driving around. A house come up, 2 roads up from my house, out of my criteria normally. Normally I buy 2 and 3 bed houses, wrecks. This was a nice 1930s semi with planning for permission for an extension. So it was really builders that would probably buy it as opposed to investors. So it's out of my territory really as far as the unit was concerned, but it's on my patch. I'll pull up in my swanky car, think I'm Charlie Big Bananas, all the other dealers are there, I'm thinking I'm knocking all these out. My ego was in control, it was out of control. So I've turned up and said, yeah, great, how you doing lads, yeah, no problem, bowled in, seeing and thinking, how much is on for, 200, yeah, bid them 220. Bid them 220. 9 months later we sold the bloody thing. 56 grand we lost on that. 56. Now some of you say, why don't you do it up? And because the time I'd done it up, messed about with it would have just taken too long. And in fact, just so you don't feel sorry for me, the next house I bought, I completed that one month. The following month, we completed another one and made 90 grand. So it swings and roundabouts. Sometimes you have to take them losses. But Richard said to me at the time, he said, what have you learned from it? And I went, I don't know. He said, you got emotionally involved. You was out of control. Your ego was in charge. Don't ever let your emotions get involved in any trade. And that goes for not just being egotistical in that response, but also when you've not got a lot of stock around. When I have lost money, it's usually because I've not got a lot of stock around and I'm desperate to buy something because I've got to keep the money turning over. I want to keep it working for me. So we've got no stock and we landed up paying too much. So never get emotional about stock. My name's Paul Ribbons. I hope you've had a great time this evening. If you've got